Hey, what's happening? It is Saturday, August 28th, 2021, 8:42 p.m. Had a great start to the day. Had an amazing day this Saturday. I hope you did as well. And many times on my morning walk, I walk shirtless. So I think many are used to seeing me that way. And, a while back, many years ago, I stood on stage in a Borat Mankini talking about the power of stepping out of your comfort zones, which has a pretty large viewership on the YouTubes. But I thought it was important to expand upon my topics today that I shared. It was kind of a discovery of showing what the current situation is in the world. And I thought it was appropriate to share the naked truth and kind of tie in the story that we may have heard as a child about the emperor's clothes. You know, how the emperor got fooled by these tailors who were making the most exquisite and most exclusive set of clothing for this emperor, and yet the emperor saw nothing. And the people that were around the emperor weren't sharing that they saw nothing too. They were staring in awe and making exclamations of how extravagant and how amazing the outfit was, and to the point where it fooled the emperor. And he actually thought, even though he didn't see anything, the others were confirming that there were things covering his body. And as the story goes, he goes on the parade, and to his surprise, a young child spoke the truth. He doesn't have any clothes on. The emperor doesn't have any clothes. He's walking around naked. And everyone else was in shock and couldn't believe that the child had the courage to speak the truth. So I felt it was pretty appropriate with the situation that we are facing in the world, where many people pretend they don't see it. And many people are telling the emperor that the clothes are beautiful, yet they see through and they see that there is nothing. It's no substantial evidence whatsoever. And it was also one of the stories I shared today was about a lieutenant colonel in the Marine Corps who was in Afghanistan, who worked with one of the people who we lost there just a short while ago in that terrible act of evil that removed 13 service men and women, and also many other civilians were injured. So this lieutenant colonel was disappointed. And I made a statement on August 17th how I was on my morning walk and I cried tears of sadness when I heard that we left those people behind. As a Marine, I served in the Marine Corps. We never leave a man or woman behind. And so when I heard that we left people behind, it didn't ring true for me. I saw the emperor had no clothes. This is not right. I knew it was not right. Everyone who served in any armed forces knew it was not right. This lieutenant colonel knew it was not right, and he knew his officers and superior chain of command knew it was not right. So Lieutenant Colonel knew the appropriate course of action, and he says in his just shy of 5-minute video, he'll probably have repercussions. He served for 17 years, and he's not yet at the 20-year mark. He'll probably be facing some consequences, which he was. True to his word, he was removed from the Marine Corps for sharing his disappointment, saying, I knew this would be a bad situation. Apparently, there's no way you could have not known, and mentioned a few people in his higher chain of command. And so he saw the emperor had no clothes and had the courage to be like that little child, to state, while the emperor and all of the people surrounding him were saying, oh, that's so beautiful, that's so amazing. Wait a minute, you don't have any clothes on. The emperor doesn't have any clothes on. The lieutenant colonel had the bravery of that child to expose that and was willing to face the consequences, throw his career out the window, to stand up for the 13 men and women who lost their lives from piss poor leadership. There's no way to sugarcoat it. And so that's the situation we're facing. And part of this Emperor's Clothing episode is also to share, as a Marine, there's a time to cry and there's a time to kick ass. I cried on August 17th when I heard we left men and women behind. We left our partners in Afghanistan who were helping us behind for a brief yet terrible future. And I cried. I cried again when I heard the news a couple mornings ago of the suicide bomber. And I've shed many tears off and on as I hear. I was out getting food last night and I saw a news channel was interviewing one of the fathers, and when he said, I saw Marines coming towards the house, and I knew our son was no longer. I'm a father. Couldn't imagine, but I can imagine. And I just imagine that sadness. And I cried at that place, grabbing the food as I saw that. I cry when I see different posts remembering the 13 soldiers, Marines, Navy, Armed Forces members who are no longer here. And that's life. But there's also a time to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and continue forward. Because guess what is going to be a given? Guess what you can expect? Stuff to happen, chaos to occur, plans to not go to plan, people dying, stuff that sucks happening. And you learn the lesson, you dust yourself off, you pick yourself up, and you refocus. You ground yourself and ask, okay, didn't expect that, didn't see that coming. What's next? What do I do now? And so I set the stage as to what we're dealing with. I'm not crying a woe is me. I'm not playing a victim. It is what it is. The question is, what do we now do? Knowing where we are, knowing where we want to go, what are the steps we can take to get there? Now, for me, I'm here as the simplifier. Hopefully, this is simplifying things for you and bringing you some peace amongst the chaos, bringing you some direction, bringing you some clarity, bringing you some groundedness is my goal. And I also want to instill hope. I also want to instill inspiration. I also want to instill, that's some tongue twisters I just threw in there, instill some action steps that we can take to get ourselves from where we are to where we want to be. Because the only person I can impact is the person looking back at me in the mirror. My thoughts, my words, my actions. Now, I can have some influence. I can share some things that might plant some seeds or insights into your brain that help you gain more clarity, help you get more grounded, help you think more in tune with what you want, speak more in tune with what you want, and take actions more in tune with what you want. That's one of my goals, one of my desired outcomes. Yeah, man. I mean, so Karen, how you doing? Jason, this is extremist. Yeah, Emperor's clothes, baby. You know me. Use your imagination. Am I clothed or not? Talking about the Emperor's clothes. Jason, yeah, bro, it's completely effed up. What's happening? It's all by design, 100%. There's no question marks of, maybe this will be good. Everyone knew. I knew. The lieutenant colonel knew. Everyone up the chain of command knew. There's no way you can't. There's no way. So anyhow, it is what it is. But the thing of life is, now what? After we're done crying, after we're done being shocked by sad news, we go through that brief grief stage and phases. I'm not sure. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a doctor. I don't pretend to be one. If you need the suicide hotline, or if you need a counselor, take those appropriate steps that you deem necessary for you and your unique situation. I'm just sharing some things going on in my mind to help me get grounded, to help me gain clarity, and help me think, speak, and act accordingly to get from where I am to where I want to be. And in order to get from where I am to where I want to be, I need other people to help me. I can't do it alone. I stand for freedom. I stand for liberty. I stand for protecting the Constitution against enemies, foreign and domestic. I took that oath, as did every other service member who has ever served in the United States Marine Corps, Army, Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard. We all took that. And guess what didn't happen when we ended our times of service? There was never a time to remove that oath. So we all know who we are. We all know where we're going. We all know we can't get there by ourselves. Together, we can. United, we will stand. Divided, we will fall. Guess what? The media, the propaganda, and all of the agenda has amongst one of its main goals and objectives is to divide us. It's to confuse us. It's to separate us. It's to make sure that we're distracted so we can't unite. And when we unite, that's when we're strong. It is the United States of America, not the divided states of America. So with my goal is liberty. My goal is freedom. My goal is to uphold the Constitution against and from enemies, foreign and domestic. My goal is to help you gain the clarity to know where you are and where you're going with some action steps that can help you feel like you are doing what's yours to do with purpose, with passion, with joy, with love. That's my goal. So you've got the framework, you've got the understanding of where we are. What you can expect moving forward, it's not going to be a woe is me, pound the drum of how bad and how terrible this stuff is. It's planting that vision of me and my children and their children having freedom and liberty, you and your children's children having freedom and liberty, the Constitution standing strong, protecting those freedoms, the United States of America coming together even when there's a wedge trying to be put in to divide us with all of the different things that they've been using, whether that's race, whether that's religion, whether that's vaccinated or unvaccinated, whether that's you name it, all the different things that they're trying to divide us. When we sit down with our brothers and sisters in the United States of America, regardless of any of the terms that you could put a label on, we recognize we all are from the same situation and we all want the same things. There's very few things we may agree to disagree on, but I'm sure most all of us would want freedom and liberty and the Constitution upheld to protect the rights of ourselves, our children, and their children, and the generations that follow. We would not walk past another person on the United States of America street who's suffering and ask them if they're a certain religion, if they're a certain nationality, if they're a certain vaccine or not vaccine recipient. We help them. That's what we do as Americans. So I'm here to bring unity. I'm here to bring inspiration. I'm here to bring hope. I'm here to bring clarity to break through the fog and help us understand we're in this together. I, as a Marine, in the years that I served, and once a Marine, always a Marine, up to this day, would die for you on the street if someone was harming you. I would not stand there and allow it to happen. I don't care what we agreed on and what we disagreed on. That's not going to happen with me around. I know I don't stand alone in that. We can come together regardless of the efforts trying to divide us. It's up to us to break out of that, to open our eyes, to have conversations. Get off of this stuff. Go meet face to face with people. Some people actually reach out to me. Hey, I know you're meeting with this person. They think differently. How do you do it? Because I love them. I love my neighbor. So I was going to say, so I will protect the freedom of speech for the people that I vehemently disagree with, people that burn the flag, people that want to harm others. I will stand up. I will lay my life on the line for their ability to speak what they want to speak. I'm not there to judge. No one is out there to judge. No one is there to impinge upon that freedom of speech that is given to us inside the Constitution. I, nor anyone, can impinge on that freedom of religion that is held up by the Constitution. I, nor anyone, can impinge upon anyone's right to bear arms within the legal guidelines. Go back to that freedom of speech. I spoke loudly when Alex Jones was deplatformed. I disagreed vehemently with that because it's a slippery slope. Once you find someone who's going to regulate, well, that's not right, that can't be said, that person must be removed, it's a trickle effect. And we've seen that trickle effect occur. Enough is enough. We do not and will not and shall not allow ourselves to be censored. We will not and shall not allow ourselves to be limited in our freedom of speech, be limited in our freedom of religion, be limited in our freedom and our right to bear arms, and all of the other liberties and protections that the Constitution upholds. Those are our rights here in America. And I'm here to uphold it. I know those who served in the military are here to uphold it. And that's part A. Part B is joy, adventure, and passion. This life is brief. I want to spread love. I want to spread joy. I want to spread inspiration. I want to be that person, that beacon who can help others speak their minds, do what they feel is theirs to do, follow their dreams, go for their passions. With joy, with adventure, with passion, and knowing that some are going to like it and some aren't. That's just life. Not everybody is going to be there cheering for you. You're going to have the haters. The haters, as the meme says, are going to hate. That's okay. That comes with life. The key is for you to live life on your terms. And that's what we're here. That's what we're all about. And look, this is also in line with the pen is mightier than the sword. I'm not a fighter. I'm not that person out there looking to stir up any of that nonsense. It's all about communication. It begins with speaking. It begins with opening our ears and our minds to listening to people with differing opinions. And saying, wow, okay, I can see that. I can see where you're coming from. Here's my stance, and talking it through. And in many times, when you talk it through without the emotions going up, without getting defensive, without push and push back, you'll recognize there's that common ground. We're sons or daughters. We're husbands and wives. We're cousins. We're brothers and sisters. We're aunts and uncles. We all have that desire to protect ourselves, to protect our family, to protect our friends, to lead a life of joy, to have the freedoms that we have, and make the most of this brief journey we call life. So, here I am in the Emperor's clothes. We all see it. Enough of the charade. The great Oz has been exposed. We see the game, and there's parts of it that we're saying, you know what? We're done playing that. The game's up. The gig is up. And for those that are ready, it's going to be a fun ride. This is the best time to be alive. The future is looking bright. It's going to be interesting, as life always has been and always will be. And I'm just excited to get some clothes on and to go to sleep. And I'll be up early, possibly with another video in the morning. We'll see how it goes. I hope this was helpful to you. And no, the camera's not going to go down Jason dinner. I know Rory especially. I know Rory, man, I know you were begging for the camera to go down. It's going to stay right where it is. Oren, love you too, my friend. Good to see you. So good stuff. We are here. Life is fun. That was it. All joking. These are friends that are here. It's all joking. And guess what? That's another part of this whole thing. To have that joy, to have that laughter as we go along with this. Just be like, all right, it is what it is. And here's a quick little lesson. So one of the lessons I learned, Max, what's up, brother, was from Dale Carnegie, and it's this: as is should be barriers and payoff. As is, it is what it is. We are where we are. Shit has hit the fan in various scenarios, and that's what it is. It is what it is. We can't change a thing. It is what it is. Now, should be. How should it be? If we had a magic genie and we could, poof, turn it into that ideal scenario, what would that ideal scenario look like? And I'm even going to say, with love, right? This is getting over and past the anger and the retribution and the revenge. This is, if we could turn that ideal should be scenario into effect, what would that look like? The happiness, the joy, the goodness that could become. What is that? Then the barriers. What are some barriers that are in place that prevent us from getting from here to there? We can foresee some of them. There's going to be many that we can't foresee. And then the payoff. How's life going to be different once we're there? How much more joy, how much more peace, how much more hope and inspiration, how much more happiness will be there for yourselves, for your children, for their children, for the world, when the division goes away and the unity comes together and we get over the crazy curtain of Oz and we recognize we're in this together. We're on the same daggone ship called Earth. Let's stop fighting amongst one another and let's start helping one another, and watch how, as we come together, cumulatively, all of our dreams can come true. I feel like Walt Disney or something like that. Anyhow, look, I'm going to put some clothes on. I'm going to go to sleep. Hope this was helpful. I look forward to chatting with you again tomorrow. Until then, stay positive. Don't let the craziness bog you down. Start focusing on what you want. We know what it is. We can't change anything that happened yesterday, the day prior. It is what it is. What can we do moving forward to get us towards where we want to go? Let's focus on where we want to go, and the steps will become clear. What actions we can take, what steps we can take. One step at a time, one day at a time, we can get there together. That's the key. Hope this was helpful. Look forward to speaking with you more. Until then, I have more insights at maketodaygreat.com. Go to maketodaygreat.com for the blog. It's not fancy. I made it on purpose not fancy, but it's there with valuable insights, and it also has some cool gear. I'm not going to put this on now, but I love walking around with this because people are like, dang right, make today great. That's the goal. Make today great. We continually do that. One make today great day at a time. Life is good. All right. Chat with you soon. Make today great. God bless you. Good night.